Before you scroll, ask yourself this one thing. Why does it feel like someone you don't even talk to knows so much about you? Why does your energy feel watched, discussed, and quietly studied? This message may shock you, but it's coming up for a reason. Someone connected to your past cannot stop talking about you, and the person listening has become deeply fixated. If your intuition has been nudging you, trust it. You didn't land here by accident. Welcome back to Sophia, a space where hidden energies come to light and truth finds its way to you. And as always, only take what resonates with you. Leave the rest behind. This reading is not meant to create fear, but awareness. Because what's happening behind the scenes is more emotional weight than you realize. As I opened into this energy, 3 cards made themselves very clear right from the start. The Devil, Page of Swords, and the Moon. Their presence together immediately speaks of obsession, constant watching, whispered conversations, and things happening in secrecy. There is a sense of unhealthy curiosity here, where boundaries are blurred and information is being passed along that was never meant to be shared. This feels like a situation where your ex is still very much talking about you, feeding details, emotions, and updates to a third party. And that third party, they're not just listening casually. They're absorbing everything, comparing themselves to you, watching you closely, wondering why your energy still holds so much power. There's confusion, insecurity, and fascination all mixed together. Even when you're silent, your presence is loud, and the more private you become, the more curious they grow. Stay with me, because as we go deeper, the cards reveal why this obsession exists, what's being said about you, and how this energy is truly affecting you more than you may realize. When the Devil, Page of Swords, and the Moon come together for this topic, the message becomes impossible to ignore. These 3 energies weave a story of obsession, constant watching, and deep emotional confusion, all centered around you. This combination shows a situation where unhealthy attachment, endless curiosity, and hidden fears feed into one another, creating a cycle that keeps you in someone else's mind far more than you realize. The Devil sets the foundation. It reveals that this situation is driven by attachment that has crossed into fixation. Someone here feels bound to your energy, not because of love or connection, but because they cannot let go of comparison and control. Your presence triggers something unresolved. Your ex, still emotionally chained to the past, continues to speak your name, share emotions, and bring your energy into their current reality. Every time they do this, the chains tighten. The third party becomes pulled into an attachment that was never meant for them, feeling connected to you without ever truly knowing you. Then comes the Page of Swords, adding movement and mental activity to the story. This card shows how the obsession stays alive through words, questions, and constant observation. Information is passed, stories are repeated, and details are analyzed again and again. The third party listens carefully, watches closely, and thinks endlessly. They are trying to understand you, but what they are really doing is feeding their own insecurity. Instead of grounding themselves, they look outward. Your life, your past, your energy becomes their reference point. Together, the Devil and Page of Swords create a dangerous loop. Attachment fuels curiosity, and curiosity fuels attachment. The more your ex talks, the more the third party listens. The more they listen, the more obsessed they become. This is not a calm or healthy mental space. It's restless, tense, and emotionally draining. Your name becomes a trigger. Your silence becomes suspicious. Even your absence feels loud. The Moon deepens everything. It shows that nothing in this situation is clear or fully understood. Fear, imagination, and emotional projection dominate the energy. The third party is not reacting to who you truly are, but to the version of you created in their mind. This image is shaped by incomplete information, emotional storytelling, and their own insecurities. Under the Moon, imagination runs wild. Small details turn into big fears. Unknowns become threats. The Moon also reveals secrecy. Conversations about you happen quietly, in private moments, late-night talks, or internal emotional spirals. There is no open discussion, no clarity, no resolution. Instead, there is confusion. Your ex may speak about you emotionally, not factually, blurring the truth and passing on unresolved feelings. The third party absorbs these emotions and attaches them to you, even though they don't belong there. When all 3 cards work together, they show that this obsession is not logical, it's emotional and energetic. The Devil binds, The Page of Swords watches, and the moon distorts. This combination explains why you may feel watched without proof, sensed without contact, or discussed without being present. You are picking up on the energetic weight of being constantly thought about. What's powerful here is that you are not involved in this cycle. You are not feeding it. You are not participating. Your energy stands out simply because it once mattered deeply. Your authenticity, emotional depth, and presence left an imprint that couldn't be replaced easily. Instead of healing that loss, others remain stuck analyzing it. This combination also highlights jealousy and insecurity. The third party feels threatened by you not because of what you're doing, but because of what you represent. You symbolize something unfinished, something meaningful, something real. And under the moon, that symbolism becomes larger than life. Fear grows in the dark, and they remain in the dark. For you, these cards serve as confirmation and protection. They validate your intuition. If you felt strange emotional pull, unexplained attention, or heavy energy connected to your past, it's real, but it's not yours to carry. The devil shows you what not to be chained to. The Page of Swords reminds you that not all attention is positive. The moon teaches you to trust your inner knowing over external noise. The combined message is clear. While others are stuck in obsession, watching, and confusion, you are being called to stay grounded and free. Their fixation does not define you. Their curiosity does not control you. And their fear does not reflect your truth. As clarity slowly breaks through the fog, these energies lose power, and you remain exactly where you're meant to be, unbothered, aware, and moving forward. When the moon appears for this topic, everything shifts into the unseen, the unspoken, and the emotionally confusing. This card reveals what is happening in the shadows, where feelings are not clearly understood and truth is hidden behind fear, illusion, and imagination. In this situation, the moon shows that the obsession surrounding you is being driven by uncertainty, insecurity, and things that are not being said out loud. Nothing here feels clear or grounded. Instead, it feels heavy with assumptions, projections, and emotional confusion. The moon tells us that the third party does not actually know you, yet they feel deeply affected by you. What they are obsessed with is not the real you, but the version of you that exists in their mind. This image is built from fragments of information, emotional reactions from your ex, and their own fears. Because the information they receive is incomplete, their imagination fills in the gaps. And imagination under the moon can become intense, distorted, and overwhelming. This card also highlights secrecy. Conversations about you are not happening openly or honestly. They happen late at night, in private moments, in quiet thoughts that spiral. Your ex may share things emotionally rather than logically, speaking from unresolved feelings rather than facts. That emotional tone seeps into the third party, making them feel unsettled, unsure, and emotionally threatened by you, even though you are not present in their life. The moon energy shows fear of the unknown. The third party fears what they don't understand about you. They fear your depth, your intuition, and your emotional presence. They sense that there is more to you than what is being said, and that unknown makes them uneasy. Instead of seeking clarity, they stay in fear, allowing suspicion and insecurity to grow. This fear feeds obsession because the mind tries to protect itself by constantly checking and watching. There is also a strong sense of emotional projection here. The moon reveals that their feelings toward you are not fully theirs. They are absorbing your ex's unresolved emotions, doubts, and lingering attachments. These emotions blur boundaries. What belongs to your ex becomes the third party's burden, and because they don't understand where these feelings are coming from, they attach them to you. This card also points to intuition being ignored or misused. The moon heightens sensitivity, but without clarity, that sensitivity turns into anxiety. The third party may feel your energy strongly but misinterpret it. They may sense that you are powerful, intuitive, and emotionally deep, yet instead of respecting that, they fear it. Fear turns into suspicion. Suspicion turns into obsession. The moon also reveals emotional instability. Their moods may shift when your name is mentioned. They may feel fine one moment and uneasy the next. This is because nothing about this situation feels settled. There are too many unanswered questions, too many half-truths, and too much emotional fog. And in that fog, your presence feels haunting, even if you are completely detached. For you, the moon serves as a reminder to trust your intuition. If you felt strange energy, unexplained attention, or emotional heaviness without direct contact, this card confirms it. You are picking up on what is hidden, but it also reassures you that clarity will come. The moon always passes. Illusions fade. Truth eventually rises. Ultimately, the moon shows that this obsession is rooted in fear and confusion, not reality. You are not responsible for the stories created about you in the dark. You are not obligated to clear illusions that were never yours. While others remain lost in emotional shadows, you are being guided toward clarity, peace, and emotional freedom. When Page of Swords appears for this topic, the energy shifts into constant watching, silent questioning, and restless curiosity. This card brings a sharp, alert presence, someone who is always observing, always listening, always trying to piece together the truth. In the context of this situation, the Page of Swords clearly shows the third party is mentally fixated on you, not through emotion alone, but through information. They want to know everything: what you're doing, how you're living, whether you're happy, and most of all, whether you still matter. This card reveals a person who cannot stop thinking about you because their mind is constantly stimulated by stories, updates, and conversations that involve your name. Your ex plays a significant role here. The Page of Swords often points to messages, chats, casual remarks, and passing comments that carry more weight than intended. Even small details about you become magnified. Something as simple as your routine, your personality, or your past connection is enough to spark overthinking in the third party. The Page of Swords energy is curious but also insecure. This third party doesn't feel grounded in their own position. Instead of focusing on building trust or confidence within their connection, they keep looking outward toward you. They listen carefully to your ex, analyze tone, notice changes in behavior, and read between the lines. Every word becomes a clue. Every silence becomes a question. This is not calm curiosity. This is mental restlessness. There is also a comparison energy here. The Page of Swords wants to understand what makes you different, what made you memorable, and why your presence still lingers in conversations. They may not admit it out loud, but internally they are measuring themselves against you. They replay things your ex says and wonder what you had that they don't. This creates a loop of thoughts that never truly settles. This card also speaks of watching from a distance. The Page of Swords often observes without engaging. That means the third party may be checking your social media, asking indirect questions, or gathering information through others rather than coming directly to you. They want answers, but they don't want confrontation. They want clarity, but they're afraid of what they might discover. So they stay in the shadows, watching quietly. What makes this card especially important is its connection to truth. The Page of Swords wants to know what's real, but they are receiving filtered information. Your ex may not even realize how much influence their words carry. Casual mentions of you, unresolved emotions, or unfinished thoughts give the third party the impression that you are still very present energetically, and that fuels their obsession even more. This card also suggests gossip or repeated conversations about you, not necessarily malicious, but constant. Your name comes up often. Your past connection is discussed, questioned, and analyzed. Over time, this creates an image of you that feels larger than life. You become a mystery they can't solve, and that mystery keeps their mind occupied. The Page of Swords reminds you that none of this is happening because you're doing something wrong. Your energy naturally invites attention. You leave an impression. You sparked something that couldn't be easily replaced or forgotten. And instead of dealing with that truth internally, others seek information to make sense of it. Ultimately, this card shows that while they are watching and questioning, you are moving forward. You are not stuck in the mental loop, they are. The Page of Swords exposes curiosity that borders on obsession, and in doing so, it highlights your power. You don't need to speak. You don't need to explain. Your presence alone keeps their mind active, and that says more about them than it ever will about you. As the Devil comes forward for this topic, the energy immediately feels heavy, intense, and uncomfortably honest. This card does not come to scare you, but to reveal what has been hidden beneath the surface for a long time. In this situation, the Devil speaks of obsession that has gone too far, emotional attachment that is turned unhealthy, and a connection that refuses to loosen its grip. Someone here is mentally stuck on you, and it's not coming from love. It's coming from fixation, comparison, and control. The Devil shows that the third party is not just curious about you in a normal way. Their thoughts about you repeat on a loop. They check, recheck, and overthink everything connected to you. Your name triggers reactions. Your energy stirs insecurity. There is jealousy here, but also fascination. They feel tied to you even though there is no direct bond, and that is what makes this obsession grow stronger. They don't understand why you still matter so much, yet they can't stop focusing on you. This card also points clearly to the role of your ex. The devil reveals toxic attachment patterns, and your ex is still emotionally chained to you in some way. Even if they pretend to be happy or moved on, they continue to talk about you, mention you, compare situations, and bring your presence into their current connection. Every time they do this, they feed the third party's curiosity. Information becomes fuel, details become triggers, and slowly, obsession is created. The devil energy shows manipulation, not always intentional, but very real. Your ex may share stories, emotions, or even complaints about you, and the third party absorbs all of it. They begin to build an image of you in their mind, one that feels threatening, powerful, and impossible to ignore. Instead of forming their own secure bond, they become focused on you, measuring themselves against you, wondering why they feel second place to someone who isn't even present. There is also an addictive quality here. The devil talks about habits that are hard to break. Thinking about you becomes a habit. Talking about you becomes a habit. Watching you, even from a distance, becomes a habit. This third party may scroll, ask questions, or quietly observe, all while telling themselves they don't care. But the truth is, they do, deeply, and that inner conflict creates frustration and emotional imbalance. What's important to understand is that this obsession has nothing to do with your actions. You are not doing anything wrong. Your power comes from simply being yourself. The devil shows that your authenticity, strength, and independence trigger unresolved wounds in others. You represent something they feel they lack: confidence, presence, or emotional impact. That's why your energy feels dangerous to them. This card also reminds you that obsession thrives in secrecy. The devil operates best in the shadows, where things are not openly discussed or healed. As long as your ex keeps talking and the third party keeps listening, this cycle continues. But the devil also brings awareness. Once seen clearly, its power weakens. And by receiving this message, you are already stepping out of the energetic grip. The devil ultimately tells you this: you are not trapped here, they are. You are not obsessed, they are. You are not stuck in the past, they are. Your energy has moved forward, and that forward movement is exactly what they can't stop watching. This card is a reminder of your influence, even when you say nothing at all.